everybody, and welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today we're doing this 91 GMC Syclone. Now, I really like this casting. I've done one other besides this, just did it off camera. Wanted to do one for the for video, but I didn't do just this. So why don't we go ahead and head on down to the range and let's get started. I really like this casting. That's why I ended up getting two of them. It was great. It was a good looking casting as is, but I wanted to kind of spiff it up a little bit. I didn't put any fancy wheels on it because it was going to be going down a track. So I had to make sure that the wheels rolled and that it would go down a track. I just did a couple little body modifications, kind of gave it a lowrider mini truck look, I guess that's what I would call it. All in all, it wasn't the only thing I did in this video. I also ended up making a hauler out of a previous hauler that I already had, that I've already done. I just didn't clear coat it at the time, so it just kind of sat in the case the whole time. But this is going to be for a downhill pink slips race that King Nut Diecast was putting on. And I kind of wanted to have something to go along with the truck. And, if my truck loses the pink slips race, no big deal. I don't mind. But at least somebody's going to be getting one heck of a cool custom. And yeah, this thing turned out amazing at the end. And I cannot wait for you guys to see the final results of this thing. I was really happy with the paint. I was really happy with everything. This is the hauler I started off with. You guys probably recognize it from one of the other things. I can't remember what car it hauled at the time. I just knew that it was just sitting there and I wanted to redo it. I actually wanted to do something a little different. I ended up doing a lot of cutting on this, a lot of filing, a lot of sanding to give it the look that I wanted it to come out with. And the whole point behind this is I wanted something to haul it around with. And I'm going to be making more haulers here probably in the near future, because some of the Mad Max builds, I've been requested to make haulers to put them on, so that's what I'm going to do. I got one from Manny's Custom Garage that I'm going to be making a hauler for his Camaro Mad Max that I did. I'm going to be doing one for my buddy Iggy for his Mustang Mad Max build that I did, and I'm going to be doing a couple of custom Mad Max style haulers to go along with the cars. So I'm kind of in the mood to do haulers for some reason. Everybody, apparently I've been getting a lot of requests for doing Mad Max cars. King Nut Diecast, no, it wasn't him. It was my buddy Philly. I can't remember his Instagram name, but he wants a Nomad Mad Max car. So along with that, I'm going to be doing a Mad Max hauler for that car. So right now I got 3 haulers that I'm going to be doing. And you guys can see what I'm doing with the Syclone. I'm putting a hood scoop on it. I'm putting these fenders that I got from Benchwork Toys. All these items I've got from Benchwork Toys. And I'm going to be, I usually order in bulk because I use a lot of 3D printed parts. And I'm always looking for other people to request and to get parts from, do kind of like a business arrangement, because I'm always trying to find more things to use. I'm trying to find stuff to make better videos, better parts to do better, more cleaner, stylish style builds. And that's kind of why I got these JDM fenders, because I did them on that Kia Stinger and I thought they looked great. They went on well. I did have to take my Dremel tool and wallow out the fenders a little bit to get them to actually be able to roll once I put it on the base, and all the paint and everything was included into it. So I did that off camera because I know it got a little bit boring. You guys kind of see a lot of what I've been doing. I didn't really do much customizations to this Syclone, because like once I get done here and I'm getting ready to do like a little headache rack, light bar, whatever you want to call it, onto the back. And once I got done with that, this thing went straight into paint. And I drilled some holes, and I drilled 4 holes total. I was just trying to get an idea of where I was going to be putting the holes, so I had to get an accurate size comparison for the bars and stuff. So I wanted to make sure everything was rolling right, everything was looking right, trimming up the size. I just kind of wanted to give it a good little look here to make it look pretty sleek. And I really think I accomplished what I was looking for both the truck and the hauler. And what I did was, I in paint wise, I'll kind of explain a little bit more paint towards right before the final reveal. But the paint matched up. I matched them up real nice. I made them almost look identical, so you could tell this truck went with that hauler. So whoever wins this truck, if they do win, will get not just the truck but the hauler as well. And it pretty much like a set. Like it's just a matchup set. I really like how I did the hauler, and if I had more of these styled trailer haulers, whatever, I would do the same thing to those, because I just absolutely love the idea I had. And once I got all this stuff done with the truck, like I said, it went straight into paint. I didn't want to work any more deal. I didn't do anything else. Like I said, I just wallowed out the wheel wells, smoothed them out, put some body putty. Mr. Putty is what I used along the wheel wells. Did all that off camera, sanded it down, smoothed it out, made it all kind of flow together. And so I did that off camera because it got boring and I didn't want you guys seeing nothing but that. So, but after I did all that, sanded it down, like I said, it went straight into paint, and then I started working on the hauler style, and that was a pain in the butt to do. And I don't mean it wasn't the whole taking it apart, stripping it down, even though the stripper didn't really take all the paint off, but that's okay. I worked with it. This GMC Syclone was actually, right now, it's actually it's my top 10. It's not my favorite, but it's in the top 10 of my favorite cars that I've built. And the one I did prior to this, I did with a red and white paint theme, kind of my military thing when I was in the U.S. Army. It was part of the U.S. Cavalry. I know you guys have heard me talk about the U.S. Cav a couple times. The guy with the horses and the cowboy hats. Yeah, I had one of those cowboy hats. But this hauler, as you see here, I kind of got it marked off because I wanted to cut this complete back off, and I don't mean just right where the line's at. I went along the lines and made it go straight out because I still wanted it to connect to the base and give it that like flatbed kind of hauler look. And the thing was, it took me forever to cut this thing down the side. I know it would have took a lot longer if I would have had a jeweler's saw to cut through this, because this was some thick metal. I'm telling you, it was some really thick metal. And I used up about half of my cutting wheel just on one side. I have a cordless Dremel tool, and literally I ran it out of juice like 3 times just doing this whole trying to cut it off, and finally I kind of fast forwarded a little bit. Here it is. After I got it all cut up, I had to trim the sides a little bit to where I was going to be putting a back onto it. And you see here, I'm just trying to smooth it out, file it down, get it to where it's good to go. It's even with both sides of it. I've already cut off the top half of it, and just kind of test fit and everything. And I'm being serious, I really like how this truck turned out. And yeah, it took a little bit, but I was able to get it done. And don't get me wrong, I really had fun with this build. I had a lot of fun, cutting styrene, shortening it up, getting it to where it was an open style flatbed so you could see the truck in it when it was hauling it around. Unfortunately, it doesn't really roll all that great. The truck does, but the hauler is not that great. It's something to do with the axles. I think they might be too thick or something, but that's okay. I ended up having these, crap, I can't remember. I got these wheels off of this car I found over at a thrift store, and I really liked them. I just didn't know what I was going to use them for, and then all of a sudden I'm just putting them on here and just checking them out, and I'm like, you know what? These are going to look really good on this hauler, so I'll go ahead and do that, and once I got the wheels, actually, because they were already, they were in bad shape, like paint-wise and stuff, so I had already had them sitting in my oven cleaner, stripped down, so they was just down to the bare white. So I had some chrome paint, and I used rattle can chrome paint, and I spray painted the rims. So, and that honestly, I think they turned out great, even with rattle can, but thing about, I just don't try to clear coat chrome anymore, not unless it's drying for like a week, because it just turns a dull silver color. So I didn't even worry about clear coating the chrome. I just kind of spray painted it, let it dry for probably a day or two, and that was it. I've knocked out a couple videos, but I've also been videoing different builds. So, while one car was drying in paint, I was working on this and, cutting this up and stuff like that. I just got done with my Mad Max build for my buddy Iggy. He really likes it, and I know he's ready to get that hauler for it set up. So what I'm going to do is, once I get the hauler set up, I'm going to make sure that I got enough money put back so I can send him the entire set at one time. And I'm not for sure if I'm going to actually do a video on all the haulers or just certain ones, but I did promise my buddy Manny that I would video a hauler for his Camaro, since unfortunately I was not able to do any video footage for the Mad Max Camaro I did. So I'm going to do a video on his Mad Max hauler, probably be in the next day or two. I'm going to start it and try to get it sent off right when I get paid, because I got a couple of cars I got to get sent out at the beginning of the month, so I'm going to try to knock that out along with as many builds as I can for my some friends of mine and stuff like that. I got some more decals coming in the mail, so I'm going to be doing some baseball themed cars. I'm going to be doing like a set of my favorite cars and nothing but this theme. I got some 420 theme decals coming. I'm going to be doing a set of my favorite cars and that theme. So I'm going to be having kind of like a set. I'm going to pick my favorite cars, trucks, whatever, and I'm going to do it in these themes, put them up in a case, and then leave them. Because, I'm a big St. Louis Cardinal fan. I live here in Missouri, and I've been a Cardinals fan all my life. So, getting that would be awesome just to have as a set up when I start getting my Cardinals wall built back up. And all in all, I'm probably going to talk to the guy about getting some custom decals made later on, not anytime soon, about getting some like certain ones made and see what he can do about it. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. You see that I'm putting this Mr. Putty and kind of getting it smashed in there, smoothed out. But this is what we started off with. Great little truck, it's 91 GMC Syclone. Great details on it just as it is. I really like the black on it. Really like the whole casting in general. So I left the wheels on the truck for when I did it. But without further ado, why don't we check out the final results?
You're in my domain, got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. While you're shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this.
I don't have enough ammo for that thing.
We're gonna stand up.